Good afternoon, everybody. We're here for tile number 431. So, what am I doing? Where am I? Regular tile, my classic, and I'm going to go with black pen, pencil tortillon. I've also got my grey fine liner here as well. So, there it is, look. I'm going to sort of do a little bit of grey work with the fine ends, hopefully. And of course, what else? Pencil, tortillon, rubber, as usual. And let's make a start. I've got coloured pencils as well. Depends if I get that far or what I'm going to do with it. But let's see, shall we? So, okay, so I've done a little mark in the middle, like so. And I'm going to mark either side. So I'm going to sort of split it into two there, look, and split it into two there. We're not going to see these marks when we've done, so do them lightly. And I'm going to turn around and same thing on this side, like half. And I'm going to split that one up. And I'm going to split that one up as well. So I've got all these little marks on. So 1, 2, 3 this side, 3, 3, and 3. You see that? Here we go. There you are. Okay. So I'm going to come straight in with pen. And I know for some of you this can be a little bit daunting. So if you feel that you want to do it in pencil first, that's absolutely fine. But I'm going to go for it, okay? So starting, again, I'm going to start in this top corner here. You being right-handed, if you are out there, you might want to start here because I'm going to do the same on every corner, okay? So, okay, in the corner, I'm going to turn it so I'm comfortable with how I'm going to do this because I want to put a curve in, okay? So as I say, if you would rather do it that way, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so now when drawing curves, you can just go for it if you're happy. But you see here, I'm going to sort of imagine that I'm doing it. And then when I'm happy with it, in we go. Same on the other side. Now they all are going to be different unless you use a stencil. So please don't try and make them exact because it's not going to happen. So go with the flow, okay? See, look, that one, completely different, but it's fine. So I want to put a line inside that one now, like so. And same with this. So this time I am following a bit of a pattern, putting that line in, because I'm following the last line that I drew. And the next one. Here we go. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to put, just on the inside, I'm going to put a little bit of faux stitching on there. Okay, same with this one. It just sort of gives it a little bit of detail without overdoing it. We just want to sort of define where we started, I suppose, with this first one. Okay, so we've got that on all four corners. So I'm going to come in with my pencil again. I'm going to put a little mark, finding the halfway space there, and there, and all the way around. Just putting those little bits in. There we go. All right. So doesn't matter again where we start, but I'm focusing now on this middle point. You see the middle one? And then this one that I've just drawn. Okay, so if I go from there, I'm going to come around, underneath, and to that one there. And same again, look, I'm going to go from that point to there. So if you feel that you need to, pretend you're drawing it first, and then come in with it. So I've got the two. I'm going to do that all the way around, you see? And in we go. Round, same again. I think once you sort of get to grips with the fact they don't have to be the same, doesn't matter anymore, does it? You just sort of feel a little bit liberated, I think. So you don't have to try and get them all the same. It sort of frees you up a little bit. All right, let's have a little look at this. Okay. So this time I'm going to put another line. I'm going to go on the inside. I'm going to do it a little bit finer. And because I've already drawn those lines in, I can relax off a little bit and follow what's come before. So, oh, that was a little bit fine, but that's okay. And to this one. And around we go. I notice sometimes I don't always touch the lines. I do think I have, but then when you look a little bit closer, there's a little gap. So try if you can and make sure that you join those lines up. And then here to this other one on the outside. Doesn't matter, I can do that one there. And along. We're into that one. Alright, so we've got a bit of a border kicking in here. Now we can see where we started from because we've got those little bits of lines there. But I'm not going to sort of end there. I'm going to keep going with this a little bit. So let's have a look. What shall we do this time? I want to come and do one sort of here. But, you know, when you're doing that, you think, oh, it's a little bit scary. How does that work? Let's give ourselves a little bit of a guide. So that's my middle. And then if I look at the splitting my space between here and here, it's sort of about there, isn't it? And then there, split that one. So let's do it the other way at the same time. So middle, and then looking at the space between there and there is about there and about there. So what we can do now, we're going to come from this point to this point, you see, like that. So I've used this little mark as a guide, and I've got my corner points there. So around we go. And down. And again, turning it this way. So looking at where I was before, look, same there to there, using this one as a hand, just to get me in that sort of similar size. So from this point, look, around, down into this point. And this point, again, using that little bit of a mark there to help me, and into there. Got this really unusual shape now in the middle. So, okay, I'm going to put another line on the inside of that one. And so we've not done anything crazy stupid here, have we? We've done curves. Just this one's been a little bit bigger than the last. And around and we go. And then this one. Now inside, remember. Okay, so that's our sort of starting point. I'm going to switch now to my grey pen. One thing to remember though with this one, it's a dual brush, so yeah, great on the other ends, but it's completely water-based. So unlike my fine liners, if you you wanted to use this in an ink, it's fine. If you want to use this in ink, be careful because any bits of water, it'll change this and it'll actually make it move. So just be aware of that. So where are we going to go next? I'm going to sort of focus now on these points here. Okay, these points. So if you feel that you need to, come in and put a pencil mark so you know where you're going. Okay. And what I would like to do is I'm going to come and create a curve from there to there. Okay, so you see I'm sort of imagining it. And then when you're comfortable with it, come straight in with your curve. You see I've gone underneath each of those. And the next one, same again, from there to there, straight to that point there. And again, point underneath to point, and again, point underneath to point. Okay, so you see it's a lot lighter, so you're getting that sort of sense that it is behind. I know we've got these lines, but it just helps a little. So let's repeat the task and fill in that second line there. And around. So what else are we up to this Sunday afternoon? We've all had our lunch. Well, do some of us have that a little bit later? John and I are in the office today. We've been doing a few bits and pieces, so we've not had ours yet. But he's been bringing me lots of cups of tea in and things. Okay, so let's get rid of these lines now. Let's have a look at what we've got here. Okay, now remember, just make sure that your pen is actually dry before you use a rubber. Well, that covers it. Okay. So let's have a look at the space that we've got in here. I want to sort of come in and draw myself another line. I'm going to go from here to here. So let's just zoom in a little bit and I'll do that again. Oh, you know when you say that and it doesn't want to zoom, there you go. So I'll focus on this middle section, okay? So I'm going to draw from here, miss a point to the next one, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to come to the next one. Okay, so see I've drawn it, missed a point, come to the next one. So then if I come to this one, I'm going to do the same. See, I'm going to draw from here, miss one and come to here. Draw one, miss one, come to here. See how it crosses? Now you've got to really sort of focus with this because you've got to remember where your next one is. So I've done this one to here, this one to here. So now I'm on this one. From there, miss one, come to there. You see? So then I'm coming to this one, miss, and to there. This one, miss, and I'm going to there. This one, miss one, come into there. So then this one, miss one, come into there. Last one, look, this one, miss one, come into there. So we create this sort of like little star design in the middle. Okay, and I'm still working in my grey pen here. Next little bit then, let's focus on these little points that we've got here. And what I want to do is start at the point, and I'm going to put myself 1, 2, 3 little loops on each of those sections. Now, if yours are a little bit smaller and you can only get 2 in, that's fine. You just get 2 in. It's no big deal. If you find some of them are a different size, so maybe you've got one that's a little bit bigger than the other, so you can get 3 into one and only 2 into the other, absolutely fine. There you go. And same here. And this one. So all the way around. And the last one there. Into there. Okay, let's have a little look at this. So at the moment we've got lots of lines, but we've not really done much with them in a sense. Because we've got all these lovely shapes, but that's coming. So if we have a look now, we've got this shape here. You see at the bottom another V. So I can come in and put some more loops in there. See, I'm filling the whole space up where I can. I'm going to actually come in and fill those in with ink, I think, this time. And turn it round. Same here, look. Now we know that these shapes are going to be a little bit different, but that's fine. It just means that yours is going to look a little bit different. It really doesn't matter. And again, along this one, into there, and into this one, and fill it in. Okay. And then, well, hello, Sean. You can't get away from just sneaking in like this. How are you? Getting enough sleep with the baby? How's your lovely wife? There you go. All right. So that's where we're sort of at so far. I think while I'm sort of in the middle, I've got my grey. I want to sort of do something here. So, you know, we've sort of done one and missed one and all the rest of it. I'm going to do another layer of that. So I'm going to start, doesn't matter where. Here, look, I'm going to miss one and draw to the next. And then I'm going to continue that design again all the way round. You see? Drawing one, missing a line, back in, creates another star. Okay, and I'm going to do the same again, so let's have a look. I'm going to imagine where I am now. If you've got to do this in pencil first, or you've got to shut me up whilst you're doing it because you've got to focus, that's absolutely fine. But you want to make sure you just follow the little guidelines there. You get another little star. See, it's sort of changing shape a little bit now, but again, I don't mind that. So, okay, I think I am going to come in now. I'm going to fill those little bits in, and just gives it that little bit more depth, doesn't it, if we do that? Of course, it's going to look a little bit lighter because I'm working in grey, not black at this point. So it's just a nice little change and into those. One more. Look at the difference that makes. Okay. So I want to sort of focus on a couple more, then I'm going to sort of move back to my black. So here we've got this sort of curve and we've got these two shapes here either side. I want to put one loop there. I'm going to fill those gaps in. And one loop there. See, fill the gaps. So I'm going to do that all the way around. Loops. Filling gaps if you need to. Loops. Same again, look. Loops. And really all we've done today is put ourselves some curves and loops in place. So nothing crazy silly here. Just keeping it simple with those loops. Okay. So I'm going to sort of stick with grey just for a moment more. I just want to focus on these shapes here. And what I'll do with those is I'm going to come in with bubbles. We've not actually filled a section of anything in with bubbles for a long time. So I thought it'd be nice this afternoon to just enjoy that process for a little bit. Put some bubbles in. It's amazing how they fill up the space, isn't it? And then adding a little bit of colour in the background when you can't fit bubbles in anymore. Just makes all the difference. Okay. And turn it round to the next one. In we go. Because, well, using a slightly different colour pen changes things up a bit. So if you like the idea of this, why not go back and have a look at one of the other tiles we've done and use a lighter colour. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you want to use the navy blue or the brown sepia kind of colour. Maybe you want to go with I don't know, red into orange into yellow. Could create some real interesting effects. And then if you're brave enough, you could do all of this, and then you could get your water spritzer and spritz it, and it'll give you a slightly more than out of focus look because it'll make all the pen move, which is a nice contrast actually between using the black fine liner in one of these, because that black fine liner isn't going to move. Interesting. If you fancy a little bit of a go at that, try something different, you could do that. It just works, doesn't it? And I always like to go back to bubbles and add something in. Next one. So you see, I'm not doing them too small. I am giving them a good size here because it feels quicker, and I can add a bit of colour to those. So don't want to add colour to all of them, but the larger ones actually I think benefit from that. So, okay, some little ones, and then fill in any little bits that are left. You see how that kind of just sort of works like that? Okay. So that sort of covers that bit. So I'm going to switch back to black now, which is my regular fine liner. And I'm going to come back to these loops and I'm going to put myself a little line in with a dot on the end. So sort of integrating the two pens together. So it's not like an afterthought, it's a very definite collaboration to that one. And then I'm going to do that all the way around. So keeping it sort of quite simple in a sense this afternoon. You know, it's Sunday afternoon. We don't want to worry too much, or we don't want to have to think too much. We just want to sit and chill and create something really nice. So that's what it's all about. So each one, you know, take your time with it. You don't have to keep up with me. Just sort of enjoy drawing these loops and all the rest of it. There we go. So let's look now to these bottom sections here, okay? So the first one is these corners completely. And what I want to do with my pen, I'm going to draw myself a line through the centre to the point. And then I've got space in between here. I can split it, but I don't want to do straight lines completely. I want to follow what's sort of already there. So you see this one that's got to sort of fill in. I'm only going to get one in there, look, to create these like little stripes. So centre first so you get to the point, and then kind of split it into what you've got. So I'm getting two on one side and one on the other at the minute, but that's fine. Centre first. See there, look, I'm going to get another. So it follows, creating that shape all around. Same with this one. All the way to the point. And then work it round. Interesting effect, isn't it? And then looking at these shapes here, what I want to do is I'm going to go from this point and I'm going to split it into three. So two lines, look, I've got three sections. Same here. I'm going to turn it back in a minute. You see? And then 1, 2, 3, put curves on the end and fill in the gaps. Curves on the end, fill in the gaps. And again, I can come in with those lines and put some dots on. I'm going to get 3 in there, see? Each one getting a little bit smaller than the last. Let's do this one. So here we go, 2 lines to split it. Same on this side. And then curves. Round we go, filling those in. Same on this one. Sort of a little bit in there, and then putting my lines in. And little dots. Same on here. Okay. And the next one. So again, I like to draw sort of towards me. I think that feels a little weird. But I know you're all different out there, so whatever's comfy for you. If you find drawing these as sort of a horizontal, that's spot on. You can do what's right for you. Okay. And then 1, 2 lines again. There's my lines again. Little dots. Little dots. God, you know, I could just be sat on the sofa now, snuggled up with Benji. Glass of Prosecco in hand, chilling, doing a bit of drawing. That'd be nice. That's the, you know, after having Sunday lunch with a non-mashed potato and gluten-free gravy. Although I must admit, I've not found gluten-free gravy really easy to work with. Not as easy as using the regular stuff anyway. It tends to congeal when I do it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But live and learn. It's probably me. Okay. So, see little dots in there. Look at that, all these different things. We do need some space because sometimes your eye needs to have somewhere to sort of settle on. But with that sort of in mind, I'm not going to do any more drawing on that. I'm going to bring in my coloured pencils. I'm not sure what colour to go for actually. Let's have a look. Maybe I'm going to go with my reds today. What do I have here? Got a bit of Clementine. My light red, I've got my Claret, and of course the ever 100% important white, and I think I'm going to bring in a bit of purple gem as well. There we go. So first things first, I'm going to make sure that that's okay. My white pencil's white on the tip there. It's okay, that is. And I'm going to start with, let's have a look, my light red. And what I want to do is, certainly in the bubbles, let's go in a little bit. I'm going to put myself a little bit of a curve on there. Okay, like so. Not pressing on too hard, but I just need a little bit of something. If they're really small, I'm not going to worry about them. It's more or less about putting them in where I can see them there. Now, being that I've done them the same way, I might as well keep this the same way. So rather than turning it, I'll line out that bottom right-hand side. Same with this one. Okay. Certainly in the middle here, I'm going to have a little bit of colour there. Again, look, I've kept it towards that bottom right. And I'm going to do a few of the other bits as well, but notice what I'm doing is they're all sort of on different parts, like so. I've not done every single one. You see, they're all sort of mixed up. Okay, and then these little bits here, I'm going to come in here and here. Now, of course, if you're not using coloured pencils, then this is where you would be putting your pencil so you could blend it out with a tortillon afterwards. So just if you're aware of that. Okay. And there, see, top and bottom of each of those. Same here. Now if yours is a bit smaller, don't put as much in, but you know that. And here too. Okay. So we'll bring my orange in. I'm going to sort of work all over that a little bit and pull it down a little bit more into those shapes. You see? Same with these. And then when I get to my little bubbles, I'm going to add a little bit more to it. Keeping with that curve still. Okay. There you go. So, again. Now if you want to do the bubbles first and then come on to these shapes, or vice versa, that's fine. I'm sort of doing it as I come to it. So I say, I'm not pressing on seriously, it's just letting the pencils do their work, really. Keeping those curves, see? Maybe you can always go back over and add more if you need to, it's fine. That's it. Just chilling out with it. I'm not taking too much mind over it. It's adding a bit in. Of course, if you're not using coloured pencils, this is where you would be using your Tortillon now, and using it to blend or soften that bit of pencil that you've already put on. But as we're using coloured pencils, we've sort of got to do that for ourselves. We've got to blend that in and work with that. And of course, in the middle, I'm going to add a little bit into there. See, if I've got any that still need a little bit more, you know, in there. Adding a little bit in there as well. So it's sort of kind of a random little bit in the middle. So I think what I'm also going to bring in a lighter colour as well. I've got my mid-orange. So in the middle here, I can come in with a little bit of a lighter colour. I think sometimes going from a solid orange to nothing is quite tricky. So having that little bit in changes it up a bit. And then if you've got the larger sort of bubbles, you can add a little bit. I'm not completely filling it, look, it's adding a little bit in there. So it's not on everything. I'm going to bring my white in. So let's do these sections first. I'm going to sort of go over it. See, sort of burnishes the colour, and then at the same time it actually gives us that highlight in the middle. So I am applying a little bit more pressure to this, and if I'd got more time I would probably come back in and do another layer of the same colours. It depends how much time you want to chill out and relax with it. See, let's go into those edges a bit, and then my bubbles, work my way around. So I'm just focusing on those I've added colour on. I'm not going to take any time over doing those little bits. And same on this one. Okay. And again, bubbles. And you know, just enjoy them. I like colouring bubbles. I've done that bit on that one. This one here. And gives it that little sense of movement, doesn't it? They're all sort of in different levels. And then, of course, I'm going to colour some of the, you know, 'cause there's actually going to be some colour on the tip of your white pencil there. So you can actually come in and add some colour to those blank ones that you've left. Sort of almost works and blends together. And those little areas. So I did have a darker colour with me as well, and let's sort of bring that into the mix. So here's my Claret, look, and I'm going to pick on a couple of little spaces. Not all in the same angle, of course. I'm going to change some around a bit. And add a little bit of... See, I was sort of working my way up those lines a little bit more, rather than try and colour every single one individually. They're just having a little bit of a touch up. See, let's have a little look at that. Yeah. And same with my bubbles, just a little bit around the bottom edge of those. Again, don't have to do it on all of them. Just want to bring a little bit of depth in there. Same with these. And then here I'm going to add a little bit bottom edge and a little bit across the top there. Yeah, it's always easier to blend a dark pencil in once you've got something on there, rather than trying to bring it in the first instance. So that one. And then this one here. But notice I'm not putting too much in because I am going to come back in with my red again and blend that in just a little bit, but it just needs that little hint. Okay, back into that red. See the difference that makes? And of course I don't want to sort of completely work my way down the colours again, so just be careful that you're sort of easing it off with that bottom edge. Or the next one. Okay, so you've got a decision to make now, in the sense that you think, well, do I need to put another colour in? Do I need to blend it a bit more? And which colour am I going to use? Okay, so I'm going to come in with my lightest orange. See my mid-orange here that I've got on my little mix at the moment? And fill that in. See, it just comes in there. So no need for all the others. It's quite small anyway. So let's put a little bit in there. I'm going to bring my red back in there and mix a few of those bits up. So, a light red. Again, see, I'm just sort of picking on some of those areas. Just bringing them to light a little bit more. See, I've still kept some of them without any colour in at all. And I know it's a really odd shape, isn't it, this? But, see, back to my orange, blend that in a bit. But, you know, it's just how it's sort of ended up in the middle there. We didn't want a perfect shape. It was always going to be what it was going to be, so that's fine. All right. So you see some of the lighter ones now are standing out a bit more because I've gone in with a dark. And a touch of my purple gem just to give a couple of dark bits. Again, there's no kind of serious pattern for this. It's about adding a little bits in here and there. See? And just to finish off in there, I'm going to come in with my white and just make sure that those last little bits are filled in, those sections. Okay, so regular pencil now. And what I want to do is focus on, start with these little shapes. I'm going to put a little bit at the bottom of those loops, just to get us started. We work from the middle outwards. And then you see where we've got this line here? This is one of our original curves. I'm going to go over the top there. And then there. Follow it round to that one. So not minding about what's underneath. So focused on doing that line. See, same with this one. I hear, remember, it went there, so I'm going to follow that underneath. And this one, there, and follow it underneath. And this one. So again, not minding about what's underneath. It's more about following those lines. And same here. We did here, look. And round there. And here. It's a little bit different sort of going over the pencil there. And we know it's not going to blend as well as if we hadn't got pencil. But we still need that bit of shadow. So it's still going to go in. Just have to remember that it was not going to completely blend, but that's okay. And along there too. And then this one. So I'm putting a little bit more over there, you see? It's sort of on the top, that one is. So we want to sort of really emphasise that. I'm going to do a little bit on the underside as well. and into this one, and this one. Okay, so let's bring our tortillon in and let's have a look at what this is going to be like. I'm going to start back in the middle and nice and gently blend those little ones, those little loops first. Only part way up. Not trying to completely fill it. It's a nice light edge at the top there. Okay, and then here sometimes, as we know, we all swirl. But because these are more lines, we want to control them. What I'm going to do, you see, is I'm going to work my way along them like so. Okay. So you see, it will move on top of that pencil, but we don't want to move it too far. Just about softening those edges into that. Okay, and this one, same sort of process, back and forth. So not swirls today, back and forth. You see? Again, back and forth. Same on this one. Back and forth. Okay. So then let's move on to the others. I've done that one, I've done that one. We've got these to do. Again, back and forth. Now, you can actually shade everything in as you're going, but I like to sort of preempt it and just do the bits that I've done in order. So you can sort of see it grow as you're going. Again, I like that bit, but you know, you can do this any way you like. So this one, you see, because there's a little bit more there, you might want to swirl it a little bit. And then it's going to sort of filter out. Same on this side, but it is on the top there, so that's fine. And I want to make sure that there's no graphite on that line there. You see that line there. So if you need to use your rubber to remove that, that's fine. You know, don't panic about it. Your pencil will come off. So to that one. Swirls there, you know, make sure it's nice and blended in. It's nothing there. Then our next one. And along there, see? And this one. So again, I'm just going to remove this little bit of pencil in there. I don't want that. And then I'm going to come back to my white pencil. So just being away, you see it's got a colour on it. I don't want that, so you know, use your sharpener or just remove those bits. You could use your white chalk for this as well, but being that I've got pencils out, I'm going to come in and make sure that that has got enough white on it, you know, just to give it that little bit of a highlight. It just cleans it up a bit. I know if we're using a regular white tile or anything, it's a bit tricky to see, but it really makes a big difference. So, one more thing. Just going to come in with my black pencil. And where I've got these top corners here, let's just zoom in a little bit. Here we go. I want to add a touch of blackness, you know, to the edge there, you see? Now, we could do this with a pen, but because I've gone in with coloured pencil, the pen's not likely to sit over the top of it. So if you've just used a regular pencil and a tortillon, you can do this with a black pen, but pencil will work fine. Remember, we've gone grey in the middle for a reason, so we just want to make this black look a little bit darker. And then that grey will look a bit lighter and the whites will look lighter still. So let's have a little look at that. There we go. So let's have a look. I think I'm going to do just a touch more pencil along there. Just want that to stand out a little bit more. And again, you know, any bits of pencil on those sort of little channels, we want to keep it where we want it. Okay. So still a little bit in there. And there it is, all done. So hopefully we're getting a little bit of dimension in there. So the last thing to do is initial. Oh, there we go. And there we are. Please don't panic about it being the right shape. There's no such thing as a right shape. That centerpiece is a little bit of, I don't know, a diamond in the rough, let's say. But it's just nice to remember that sometimes things don't have to be an exact shape. So enjoy, everybody. Have a lovely day, what's left of it. And I will see you here, as usual, on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So take care, and I'll see you then. Okay, bye, everybody.